Ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that bit of technical difficulty there, but welcome to episode 447 of the Maritime Paintball Podcast. My name is Brad Odell, and with me, as always, is somebody we can't hear for some reason. We can hear Zach because I can hear him smiling.
Can you?
I can. I could hear you, I can hear your lips smacking, but the king over there is experiencing technical difficulties.
It's not on my end. Zach,
I can hear him now.
We can hear him now.
There was never any issues. This was not my fault.
Absolutely. You know what? It's fine. Whatever.
I blame you. What is Explore going on about? No Facebook stream, Bradley.
He's saying there's no Facebook stream, but there's definitely a Facebook stream.
Nah, that's okay. So it's nice to be here on beautiful 97.9 CHSR in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Hi, everybody. We were at DDay this weekend. We decided we're just going to. Well,
I think Facebook broke.
It's
fine though. We're just gonna keep. No, it's there. It's right there. I'm looking right at it. Anyways,
screw it. Hi, are we done? Can we start our show now, or
yes,
are we gonna
absolutely.
continue to just
Let's roll this.
Sound like
let's
we're
make this happen? True. Believe it or not, folks, we are not professionals. So let's start this from scratch. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 447 of the Maritime Paintball Podcast. My name is Brad Odell, and with me, as always, is
you're slightly aggrieved, King of Paintball.
Aggrieved?
So aggrieved. I'm slightly aggrieved. This is taking too long. Normally we're a little smoother on this today. We go on vacation once a year, twice a year, and we manage to seem like we've never done this before.
I know.
Perfect.
I know. We are fantastic. So we're coming to you live from 97.9 FM CHSR at a beautiful Fredericton, and Facebook and YouTube and Twitch at Maritime Paintball Podcast. Go look us up. Check us out on TikTok as well. Before we get started, I believe we need to pay some bills. We have a couple of show marketing partners. Let's call them partners that we need to mention. If you want to do that.
If you look at the top there, you see that this is the DDay Tippmann Challenge recap, and that's because Commando Action Centre in Ottawa has graciously sponsored us once again to go and visit them and continue to bring the smoke and the fire and all the entertainment to their field once a year. So we thank them very much. Moncton Paintball, we love you. My home, my field. We're going to be doing street ball this weekend. So everybody, please come on out. It's going to be sexy, sexy times. We've got these beautiful threads from Intensity Customs. My God, go please see him buy his stuff. His stuff is amazing. I don't care if he's a sponsor or not. Look at anybody who can make me look
this good. He's like our biggest sponsor.
Shut up. You've never actually said it, so I'm figuring
no, because so he's technically on paper, he is a
like the shadow broker. He's the shadow sponsor.
No. He's on paper. He is a marketing partner.
Okay, I consider him an advisor. He's very, very good at advising. So, anyways,
it's blue ruled paper, but it's paper nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly. That's Zach, everybody. Mr. Zach from a Big Effin' Squad has once again decided to join us because he always makes my D-Day experience just a little sweeter. Who else are we forgetting, Bradley? We got to thank people. We got to thank Dave. We got to thank Marie. We got to thank the Grumpies for putting us up.
Ooh, the Grumpies.
Oh God, they were indeed grumpy, but they are old and awesome. We have fun stories from them. Who else are we thinking of? Who am I thinking? Who am I missing?
I think you got them all, buddy. I think you got them all. I was only half paying attention though, so to be honest,
that's the story of my life. That's what happens when we travel together for 30 hours in a car. Hadn't heard from Brad in like 3 days. I'm like, is he dead? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. We just spent all weekend together.
No, I'm just sick of you. No, I'm kidding.
I know. I would be too.
No, I'm exhausted. My body is broken. Like it's taken me 3 days to recover. I'm 35 and I now officially feel it. Like before, I was like, oh yeah, the body's 35, the spirit's 19, dumb as a 16-year-old. No,
the body is old, but the spirit is also old and unwilling.
That is it. That is everything now. I'm just like, I am broken. I am tired, but I am happy.
You are emotionally broken, but again, that's just
I am
generational trauma. Scroll. Somebody sent me.
Just
I had questions sent to me.
No.
We'll just casually drop that one and never circle back to it.
That's right. That's the best. Oh wow, you're are you talking about my parents and giving me like advice for my emotional distress? Yeah, just put it in a little box and forget about it. You'll be fine.
That's right. Be a man. Come on.
I'd be a man. Anyways, Jesus, this is going to descend badly.
Oh,
Bury
we've
your
already
emotions.
started.
Have a stroke.
We've already
Uh,
Be a
started.
man.
Somebody. Okay, I had questions asked about our adventure because we did indeed drive to Tippmann, to the Tippmann DDay Challenge at the Commando Action Centre in Norm
did.
at a whopping 95 average.
I'm gonna
90
average it to 95. We averaged 95.
There were some slow spots. There were some
There
75
were some slow spots. Yes,
How many dirty looks did you get?
so many.
Okay,
The
to be
Quebec
honest,
drivers hated us so
no,
much.
the Quebec drivers were really nice. They're the ones that gave us the four-way flash. They were telling us like, thank you for letting them in because I knew how slow we were going. So I was kind of moving over. The dirty looks started in New Brunswick. In
That's
Quebec,
true.
they're just like, regardez, c'est de Nouveau-Brunswick, ils sont stupides. In New Brunswick, we're like that asshole.
Yeah, what he
Like,
said.
come on, buddy, get over. Like they're just here. I got some nasty looks coming in through like Edmundston.
Oh yeah.
But Quebec, we had the Quebec police passing us, like we were standing still, and they didn't look at me twice. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
OPP
No, it was great.
passed us, didn't even look at us twice.
I think camping culture is a lot like better in Quebec than some of the other.
I think
areas.
so. I think
Oh, yeah,
they're
very much
they're
so.
they're a lot more accepting of. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my chair. Of when like a car is, or when a vehicle is incapable of doing the speed limit. That's why they have that like the minimum maximum thing
They have
happening.
the 60. So as long as you stay above 60 in Quebec highways, you're cool. Just don't go above 100 because that guy, that fine officer, he's waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you just become a pile. You just become part of the pylons.
Yeah, you're a
in
moving
Quebec.
pylon, man. You just
Yeah.
move over.
They just
Yeah.
go around.
So Norm, for if those who've seen the couple pictures we put of him, you can't see out his back window because there's a plate, so you can't see out the back of it. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're behind me. You can look at my big flag, but I'm not. There's nothing I can do, guys. I'm sorry. Like I'll pull over.
Yeah.
What do you do?
There was definitely times where we're driving, like especially at night, where the only reason you could tell somebody was behind us was because they illuminated us, like you could see the light coming around it. And then there was other times where in like during the daylight that you'd see them rolling up, only because the sun was so far on one side that it was just casting a shadow.
Yeah, you'd see the shadow on one side of the
Like-
car. Otherwise, you didn't know that they were back there.
And they're getting like, yeah, some of the drivers are getting right angry, and they're like right behind us, and they're just like, I'm like, dude, look at the age of this trailer, bro. We're not going fast.
2 feet.
Go
Some of them
around.
were just getting right on the bumper of Norm, and I'm like, that's bold, man. That's bold because that trailer.
Right?
But for a 50-year-old camping trailer, it slept really well. Pulling
It was
over on the other side of RDL and crashing out, and Brad being kept awake all night by the truckers that were
Yes,
driving by.
it
They
turns
weren't
out
doing
that
anything
I-
salacious.
The light coming in didn't bother me in the least bit, but the trucks, I could not. Every time I'd start to doze, and all you hear is because they hit the Jake brake coming into the pull off.
I was
or
so tired that I
They're
just passed
revving
out.
up to go past us, and it's just like, I'm like, come on, guys, like just. And then there was like a period between like 2 and 4 a.m. where there was no traffic, and I fell asleep.
Like at all?
None.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it, like no traffic whatsoever, no road sounds, nothing. I fell asleep. 5 a.m. The truckers started up again.
Oh man, and it was funny too because you could tell that those guys were like barrel assing trying to get to their rest stop by 11 o'clock because at like 10 o'clock they're stepping on it, like they're hauling ass to get to that rest spot by 11 because that's your timeout when you hit your time to stop. So they pull over.
Yeah,
You gotta
There's a
get
lot of them,
yourself some
too.
earplugs, pal.
Well, okay. Well,
I
it was
don't
a
need
trial
them.
run. Now we know. We
sneak.
know better
Fair.
now.
Yeah.
Right? We know better. So it's all good. Now that we know that I need some earplugs.
But
It's funny that after that trip, I started getting like ads on Facebook for like custom molded earplugs.
Well, I can vouch for one of those Amazon brands that they're good and I can sleep with them in my ears. So
I used to
Dope.
use
I seen-
Zildjian drummer earplugs, and you could sleep
those
in
are
them,
good.
and they were great.
Yeah, those are
They're not a sponsor, but damn, they work really good.
Yeah,
anyways, so we all
So-
went to D-Day.
we did. It was
What?
a great weekend. It rained. It was cold. There was flooding. But
Was
Zach
there
got to
ever?
stand on top of the hill with a flag and
There was
look,
thunder and lightning.
look epic. There was thunder
Yeah.
and lightning.
I got to scream at the clouds. Like a true old man.
You were almost like the priest in Caddyshack playing the perfect game of golf.
That's where you went. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the imagery you went with.
You with the flag. I was just picturing him like cursing the gods and him getting struck by lightning. Like that's what I went with. So
I was just channeling like Sloth from the Goonies and just like trying to shout at everybody down at the bottom of the hill.
Hold on. Yo.
She's like, "Get out, Brad. We don't want you here anymore, sir. We're done with you people now. Get out." Oh man. Shout out to Surf if he's listening tonight. I have met the first person who knew us from CHSR.
Yeah, that was super dope.
Is one of the Airsoft New Brunswick lads I bumped into during the camp out weekend, and he didn't click who it was until I said we have a radio show, and he stopped and he goes, "Oh my God, that's why I know you're the king." And I'm sitting there with a crown on my head and my paintball jersey, and I'm just like, "Yes, I'm the king, sir. That's why, buddy." But that was kind of a very cool thing.
Ever since I've been the king.
Yeah. All of 4 years, and yeah.
Nobody cared who I was till I put on the crown.
Yes, the high prizes, brother.
The high prizes.
The king of burgers? No, the king of paintball.
I am the king of sandwiches, if we're going to go there. And hello, Wolf. Nice to see you too. That man was it looked like he was just warmed over, and he still showed up to come and play a little paintball, do a signing, which was really, really cool. I have an autograph signed. I got autograph posters of Nightmare and Wolf in my truck. They're not to me. They're Brad's, but I've got them.
Did you get the secret posters?
No, but I did see the sacred bag of paint.
Oh,
that was cool. That was a neat little thing to get to see hanging around. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, the sacred bag is the last bag of paint purchased by our man here at PRZ.
Oh, I wasn't going to bring that up, but okay.
Oh, the sacred bag of paint at PRZ. I just think it's dope because it was really cool that I met a whole bunch of people who met us there. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a great coming together at D-Day. You find people that you see all year, you don't get to see. And we all managed to come together for 3 days, usually of like really nice weather and paintball. The weather was not accommodating.
Yeah, we made the best of it. We did make the best of it.
Going back through my footage, it's really funny because like, we'll go through chronologically, but basically we get there. It's okay. It's overcast, but it's partly cloudy. And then it suddenly just becomes like plus 25, all sun. I'm like, beautiful. I need sunscreen. This is intense. The water truck shows up for the pool, which that was the thing. That was wild.
I was so excited. I even packed my trunks.
So the water gets the pool's filling with water. It's like we're like, wow, this is happening. Okay, cool. We're all having a good time. The barbecue was going at one point. Everyone's having a blast. And then it starts to get windy. And then you see these like dark clouds rolling in from the distance, and it's just like, oh no.
This was of course right Zach around was like 4 or 5 p.m.
Yeah. And then you randomly appear. You're like, hey, you want to get a little bit wet? And you're holding a flag. And we run to the top of the hill, and we get up there, get some great footage of you like screaming at the sky, old man yelling at clouds.
Like I couldn't get up high enough, so I started climbing up on a truck. I'm like, I'm gonna fall and hurt myself, and then like this is all for stupid Instagram.
Oh man, it was still a really good picture though.
Got to do it for the gram, bro. Got to do it for the gram.
It was so
absolutely.
It's that main character energy for just one whole second.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then the rain starts.
Oh, that wall of black clouds that just kind of slowly crept towards us, and running down the hill with one of the boys, we're like, "Oh, this is not good." Get back to the trailer. Just like shove everything in so it doesn't get rained out.
And then we're all under the tent, the shanty town that was built.
The big effing tent.
Yeah, the big effing tent. And then the water just started creeping in. And it was like
creeping.
Nobody really noticed it until it actually really was on top of us. But like we were all just slowly getting closer and closer to each other because there was less and less dry land. And then I think at one point it just flooded entirely.
Yep, we were standing on the seats of our picnic tables at one point.
Yeah.
Pallets were brought over for makeshift boardwalks.
Yeah, duck boards. It's
We were
D-Day,
getting
not
drowned down there.
yeah. It was D-Day, not Passchendaele, boys. It was there was a lot of water. It was ankle deep in places. It was
Wild.
cold.
Yeah,
And it was cold.
Oh man.
But I mean, it was great.
It didn't dampen our spirits though. We still managed to have an absolute blast the first night. Friday night it was rainy, it was wet. We eventually just kind of shuffled into the trailer, and I'm like, I'm gonna go and make a pot of coffee and just vibe for a minute. And then I crawled into my bed and I'm like, oh, I'm not getting up. 10 seconds later, and it may have been 20 seconds later, Brad opens the door. I'm already in my pajamas, wrapped up in the blanket. I'm like, I'm not coming out.
Yep.
I'm good, man. I'm staying here.
Yeah. We had at one point we had a makeshift kind of like a kitchen party happening in the shack.
Yeah,
there's a pile of us in the shack, and
I think y'all were playing Super Mario or something.
Yeah, we were taking turns playing Super Mario. It was a good time.
So Ty asked if we had anything to do, and I said, "Oh, I've got an NES Mini in the trailer." So I just run in there and bring that back and hook that up to the Grumpy Shack. Trench foot. My feet were so sore and unhappy with me after that. Yep, I changed my socks. Must have been 3 or 4 times on Saturday.
I found out that my running shoes are waterproof. That was fun.
Nice.
Good time to find out.
For me, anyways, it was fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it was really good. It was a good time. It was cold. It was damp, but everyone's spirits were pretty good. There was we all came together with a mutual hatred for the weather.
Man, even a bad D-Day is still a pretty good damn day.
I was stoked to do
right?
D-Day in the rain.
Yeah, a bad D-Day is better than a boring day at home.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Correct.
I think
it wasn't a bad D-Day by any stretch.
Was it that night, or was it the next day that I threatened violence against Radar?
Oh, against
I wasn't around for this, so
our boy
decided,
Paul
yeah,
kept pulling up the weather radar, showing. He's like, "Yeah, the storm's gonna pass in about 30." At one point he came out of nowhere. He's like, "Yeah, it's probably gonna pass in 30 minutes," and I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna slap teeth out of your mouth in 32 minutes."
I think that was Friday night.
Yeah,
he stopped telling you the weather after that.
And then the next morning, because it was the next morning, and I was like, "What's the weather going to be like their radar?" And he didn't acknowledge me.
No, I don't think that's a good name.
It's the perfect name. Once he told me who it was, and I clicked, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's
a term of endearment." Because Radar from MASH was that guy was the GOAT.
He was a very loved character. Very loved character.
He was. That base also didn't run without him. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
No, and after he left, you had Klinger running the shop. And
it's funny because we play Fortnite with Paul, and he does the same thing. It's become a kind of an in-joke with our group, so that's why it was kind of funny that he was giving us storm updates.
I was gonna say cross dresses to try to get out of the service.
No,
no, that's Klinger.
I know, that's why I was like, really?
No,
okay, Paul.
No, Paul's the guy that
awesome.
when we're looting in Fortnite. He's the one who's on us because the storm's coming. We got to go. The storm's coming. The storm. Yep. And it's like, okay.
He keeps us ahead of the storm. We need it because otherwise we'll get lost in the looting.
That's
because y'all are a bunch of loot goblins. So Friday night ends. Saturday morning starts. I'm up at 5:30, 5:45. I got to get up and I go wandering around, and it's just Dave. The only person I see walking around is Dave. So I helped him out with a few things, and then Dawn appeared out of nowhere. And I was like, just laughing like there's only these 3 of us wandering around.
You're talking about gremlins and loot gremlins. Dawn Dunn is a loot gremlin. There's a gun gremlin, but that's the perfect way to describe him. I love him. He's hilarious, but he just appears places. And that's unsettling.
It's like Dobby.
Yeah.
He's a little more legible, understandable than Dobby, but yeah.
You're gonna say the Dawn.
No.
Hellstar. TTK gang on YouTube there in the comments. It's Hellstar. He was one of the players that played in the VPL league the week before that I was there for as a guest commentator.
Cool. Neat.
Stood out. Why do you suddenly have a lead farmer logo?
Wow, you caught that really quick. I'm impressed. It's okay. I made a point to wear my lead farmer patch this weekend, and since he wasn't there, I put him upside down. Now he's hate farmer, so it's changed him out there.
Sorry, I just found out I could change my my pause screen avatar.
What up, Jacob?
Nice.
We'll be seeing you on Saturday for Street Ball. I hope, buddy. That's going to be a blast. Cameron, I expect you'll be there too because it's Street Ball and it kicks ass, and it's going to rain. Because, of course, it's going to rain. Hell yeah. Perfect.
Street Ball's Saturday, right?
Yeah.
I want to come out to that one year.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I'll be missing this weekend's. The event I was taking the kids to got canceled, but now there's a birthday party we have to go to. Hashtag.
Oh, you can get. Oh no, you can get out of that. You promised your kids to go to touch a truck. You did not promise to take those kids to a birthday party.
And
honey,
she works. Yeah, the universe is like, bro, you had a lot of fun. Time to pay back.
Yeah, it's okay. You're gonna be paying back, and that's all good because this is gonna be awesome. It's just gonna get this whole summer is just getting weirder because the whole weekend there was some weirdness. Had some oddness. Had some good luck though. Got my LV.
Hey.
That beautiful 180 went to go live with Gordo, and Turtle scored himself a GO4. I'm happy with my generally overall. I'm not displeased with it.
There's now one of the Effins has a speedball setup, an Empire Mini.
Yeah.
Which was exciting.
Comment. Are you even a paintballer? What is it? Are you even a paintballer if you've not risked divorce to play?
Man gets it. I keep telling Brad this. She's gonna marry him anyway, so he might as well just go.
Right. Well, we had a conversation, and the way the conversation went was, I feel guilty leaving her alone with the kids for like 4 or 5 days, and her response was, I've been left alone with the kids for months on end. It's okay. And then my mother chimed in and said, you can always just come over here when he's gone. So I take that as permission.
One second here. I'm just going to tell your old lady that I love her. If she's not watching the show, I love you, Brett.
So, we'll see how that goes. So Friday rolls around. Friday was cool. Friday we got up. There was, I think at one point there was 3 different forms of coffee being brewed.
Oh, Saturday. Yeah.
Or Saturday. Sorry, Saturday morning.
Yeah.
It started to rain.
2 pots and a percolator going.
Yeah. It rained in the morning. Everyone was pretty miserable, but we still, everyone kind of hung around, checked out a couple of things, the pro shop, the Intensity tent, spent a lot of time in there chatting with Sean. Checking out all the cool stuff, looking at how much money I was going to spend. And then miraculously, it cleared up at like 2:00 in the afternoon or 3:00.
It did.
Yeah, it did. And then as the second it cleared up, the game. Well, okay, so they had renters running through all day Saturday, which was shout out to Commando for being able to do that.
Wow.
Hosting DDay and still be coordinated with the run rentals through, right? Shout out to the rentals who went out. They played. They were in their coveralls. They played great. It seemed like they had a good time. Everyone seemed to come off happy.
Despite the rain.
Despite
the
rain.
refs. We shout out them refs for being in that rain. It sucked. And they still had a generally sunny disposition.
Yeah. And then at like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, the rain just sort of stopped. And the second it stopped, on Classic, on the field, like one of the side fields, just immediately, like the DDay people just showed up. Like they were just there. Open class. Let's go. There was a pump player, Megfed player, speedball player. Just they all ended up on the field at once. They were like, let's go.
Okay. So when those guys were playing, Brad and I were out on the field with our cell phones. We were recording them, right? And as I'm watching them, and this is the luckiest damn thing that's ever happened to me in paintball. I have my cell phone up. I'm, horizontal recording like a millennial does. And I'm walking around and I kind of come around the side of a pylon and all I hear is smack. I'm like, uh-oh. But my phone's still working. I don't want to look at it. Oh, I'm afraid. I can still see through the camera though. And the phone's still working, so it's probably okay. So I turned around and it hit right dead center of the credit card carrier on the back of my cell phone case, and everything was fine. I was like, I can't believe that just happened.
Oh, no way.
I got the footage too. It was awesome. Okay, carry on.
Hello, Nova. And that's wild.
We got to shoot some footage of them. That was fun.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It was it was great. Managed to get a bit of footage. They had a blast. The pump player hammed it up a little bit, which I loved. Having a good time. Yeah.
See the one with the RGB strip in his mask?
Oh yeah, I got him. I got video of him.
We're gonna get to him because that was
right.
Sunday, and that guy was my hero. Was one of my heroes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Saturday we continued on. It kind of cleared up. Then everyone just kind of like, and then the
fridge pork. So Ty,
I caught myself, but hey, gang, come here. What's up? You know how we marinate our pork here in the Grumpy Shack? I went, is that a euphemism? He goes, no, literally. And he reaches down, he opens the fridge door, grabs a hold of the crisper, and he pulls it out. And there's 2 giant chunks of pork marinating for the barbecue.
In the crisper tray.
There was 3. I only saw 2.
Yeah.
There were 3 shoulders in there marinating. Yep. It's just the crisper drawer just full of marinated pork.
Yeah.
At the end of the
night, normally he's got like big like kitchen, like professional kitchen like containers for doing that. But he forgot them. And it was like Saturday morning. I think one of the guys was just like, Ty, what are we doing for dinner? And he's like, oh no. So he's like, what am I going to do? So they pulled the crisper. He's like, we washed it. I was like, trust me, man, you're putting raw pork in there. Whatever was in there first, that's not what I was worried about.
It's dead now. It's very. Now, I would like to point out.
Might have spawned a tradition.
That pork. So. Ty was so critical. He was just like, he just doesn't believe us when we tell him how good that pork was.
It was
but
good.
It was like a feeding frenzy, man. I didn't get any the next day, and I was annoyed because by the time I went, everybody had pillaged it, and I was really happy that they got.
Yeah,
there was a good bark on it, and everything.
Yeah, there was good bark. The barbecue sauce. I don't know where he gets that barbecue sauce, but it is tasty. He makes it.
I think so. I think that's what I heard.
It's so good, man. Yeah, he does a killer job with it, and every year, this is like the third year now, where he's just like, it could be better. I'm like, bro,
that's
the burgers the night before were pretty good too, with this mushroom peppercorn sauce.
Oh my god, those burgers!
I need that sauce.
Oh,
I need that mushroom sauce.
So if you're just tuning in, this is the Maritime Paintball Over 30 podcast, where we
brining our meat.
We're talking about barbecue.
It was the Maritime Pork podcast. It was so damn good. The burgers were amazing, cooked to perfection. Next morning, it was cold, it was miserable, but everyone was fine. Saturday was a weird day though. Like it sucked all day, and then it got really nice in the afternoon, but everything was soaked.
Yes.
Saturday night rolls around. I don't know. I don't remember from like 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's kind of just a blur for me. Yes, thanks, Wolf. Yeah, absolutely, folks. If you can do us a huge favor, share the show out and get this out everywhere so we can share how delicious the pork was at
TJ
at DDay.
Nova. It was so good that you guys would have come and delighted on it. I don't know if you'd slap your mama good because he's Southern and that's some really good barbecue, but it was some damn fine barbecue. I was
definitely
very happy.
And then the night showed up, and that's that like I was legitimately worried. I was like, man, the weather's going to drive everybody away. There's not going to be like a players party. Like nobody's going to come back to the field. It's it's nobody's fault. The weather sucks. It happens. I was delightfully proved wrong. A ton of people showed back up to the field. We got amazing footage from like 15 different angles of us with the Roman candles, like 20 or 30 of them wrapped up with duct tape, each of us carrying them and just setting them off with that blowtorch. That was amazing.
Dave
and then
was so pleased with himself too.
Oh, he was happy as a clam. Like you couldn't see anything for the smoke coming off the Roman candles. We tried to set the giant pile of pallets on fire. They were too wet. And the amount of gasoline that they threw on it wasn't enough to counteract that. Somehow he got it going though. So I mean, and when it got going, ooh,
warmed up.
It warmed up real fast. Somebody sent me footage. I'm going to use it in one of the reels where my Roman candle pile had like, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 that didn't ignite. So I'm just sitting there lighting them one at a time with the cigar that Zach gave me. So I felt very good doing. It was so much fun.
And the DJ was decent. Like the mix of music was enjoyable.
Yes,
it was very 1980s, which made me happy because that's me. But
it was bright. It was bright and fun. Call it that. And we had some fire dancer. Dave's son's a fire dancer. Did some of that, and then there was the lady with the LED balls doing that thing.
Oh yeah, the raver.
And somebody asked me, they were like, Brad, how come we not doing a talentless talent show this year? And I was like, first of all, it's never been my show, never will be. And 2, that guy's not here, so we're not doing it.
Besides, look around. There's lots of
talentless people around.
Yeah.
Was it Mike saying I missed the start? It started early. I was drying my feet and I got an Instagram and Tonka went live. And I was like, oh, cool. What's he up to? And open it up and everyone's shooting fireworks at the bonfire. That's what it was. It was a ton of fun. Everyone, it was really, really fun. Oh, excuse me.
I'll get that sent there after.
And yeah, it was an absolute blast. Good music. It was good music. It was food, drink. Everyone seemed to be having a good time, milling about, chatting.
Yep.
Taking photos.
Yeah. I wandered. I did a lot of wandering that day. I was from one end of that field to the other. It was really, it was all a real wild haze, but fun. That's what I live for that place. Just walking around and seeing the people and enjoying just everything that place has to offer.
It's a great field. It's an amazing field. The pro shop he had set up in there inside was phenomenal. Had a ton of gear.
My God,
ton of stuff that you wouldn't even think you need until you see it, and you're like, I kind of want that. Like, not that it's a rare or anything like that, but seeing all the Exalt hard shell stuff for like tanks, markers, masks.
Right.
You see it online, you're thinking, who needs that? And then you pick it up and you're just like, I suddenly really care about the gel coating on my tank. Right? Like, it's like, yeah, it was cool. It was fun to see all that stuff. It was great getting everybody, like, before that set up, like when we were eating, it was just great to have everybody together at the Grumpy Shack, just hanging out, having a bite, hanging out, chilling. It was a good time. It was a really fun time.
It certainly was.
It was a little sad that Jeb, the mechanical bull, couldn't show up. He showed up. He was there. King, you said you saw him.
I saw Jed in his trailer roll up, and then I turned around and Jed was gone. So I assumed the rain kind of deterred his appearance.
His setup does not look waterproof.
No, it does not.
Yeah, it was what it was.
So our friend, the tattoo artist, was there.
Yes,
I can never
Peace
remember
Machine,
the name of the truck.
You can't really see it, but it's there.
Oh, there it is.
Got the podcast logo tattooed. Finally, been meaning to do it for years. So That's on there. And
I did try it, boys. We'll get to
Love
it, but I paid for my insolence. I didn't get to do it more than once. We'll get to Sunday because after all, Sunday was I was on the receiving end of it this year, and it was awesome. I now saw what the other guys saw at D-Day. It's like, oh, that sucks. It was fun.
Well, let's talk Sunday. Let's
we
get into that.
We woke up. We got up. There was coffee. Coffee was good. A little damp, a little cool. Everybody's kind of like, you could tell there's that we didn't really get a lot of play in on Saturday. So everybody was raring to go on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like I know like that right before the game tension, like everybody was ready to rip.
Yeah, my whole group was on the field before game start, which is, I don't think that's ever actually happened.
No.
Like to get everyone together for game start.
There was it was a motley crew at the top of the hill for the start on our side. Like we had Lord Stapleton coming up the hill, and he had a boom box on his back and had techno playing, and he had 2 beer. Put him on the back of the truck. I'm like, all right, this is a good start. It's going to be a rough one for you, bud, but let's see you do it.
Yeah, right. This is like, okay, bud, you do you.
Oh my God, that was funny. And we took off into the woods as soon as it went off. So I didn't get to see the big rush up the middle. Like we bolted into the woods on the left side, like right away, and kind of just posted, and they just came at us in waves. But we held that line for the longest time for the morning. That left side, we held it for a while, but it was warm. I was getting a little toasty back there. Maybe it's just because I'm fat. I'm not sure.
No, it was kind of humid in the forest.
It really was. The game kicked off a little differently this year. Like they kind of keep changing the starting position of the teams. Back in my day, they had allied sat at the bottom of the hill, and you had some of us were actually in the watercraft, basically wharfs with walls, and you had to fight up the hill. Back in the day, like you had to fight, and it was like you'd spend an hour just getting obliterated before somebody finally broke the line, and that's when the game and then things would start to shift and move around. And then one point they shifted it so that one team started over the hill on the far right side, and then one team started at the bottom of the hill to the left, because the storms had damaged the watercraft things, so we couldn't use them. And now it's
ever since I've been there, it's been the watercraft was gone. We always kind of went
sort of down the hill, right? Like down the hill and then up and over. But this time we started at opposite ends of Boneyard, which is the field full of old vehicles, old trucks and stuff, which I thought was different. I liked it to a point. It didn't feel like D-Day to me, though. That felt like a regular game. Like, I don't know. I just something about starting head to head like that kind of just, I don't know. It didn't have the pizzazz of like starting at the bottom of the hill and having to fight your way up.
I know exactly what you mean. Now, again, I've never gone up that hill, but when we did it, like I've never gone side to side, not front to back. So I know what I said. But I know what you mean. It was kind of weird to start kind of off to the side where we did instead of meeting up straight in the middle. It was a little bit different.
Yeah, it was weird. We didn't even meet in the middle. We ended up because they have to push up that hill, and we were on flat ground. We took almost the entirety of Boneyard within minutes. We got stopped. I mean, about 3/4 of the way through, maybe 4/5 of the way through Boneyard, and we ended up fighting, and we kind of just stalemated there, which is actually what happened to us when they later in the day they flipped teams like they do, and we ended up getting stomped on because they made it 4/5 of the way through Boneyard before we could get up the hill. And right, so to be fair, they flipped the field, they flipped teams, both teams get each chance.
Said it walking on the morning. You said it to me, like if we hammer at them hard in the morning, we are toast in the afternoon. And we knew it because when I figured out, we're like, oh God, we're going to have to go up that hill after lunch. Nobody's going to want to go up Hamburger after lunch. Doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah. So I'd love to see it come back where we climb up the hill. I know it gives Allied a disadvantage, but the way they balanced that in the past was Allied had to push up the hill. The Axis started at the top of the hill and they were shooting down. So Axis for them, it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Right.
For Allied, it's a hell of a fight. Like a hell of a fight. You're gonna get shot at. It's bunker to bunker, move when you can. But the way they balanced it was they had what they called the paratroopers, which was I think a group of 15 or 20 Allies would actually start behind the Axis. So the Axis technically started surrounded. And the idea was that the paratroopers coming in from behind would eventually take enough attention or break through a line somewhere, and that's what would break up the monotony of getting stuck climbing the hill, the D-Day hill.
Okay.
So I would love to see that come back, to be honest with you. That was also the days when the game was 8 hours long and didn't stop. There was no lunch.
Yeah.
So game
Yeah, you just went
started
off
at
when you
10.
were hungry.
Yeah. Game started at 10. You just played until 4. So
yeah,
it was tough. It was brutal, but I frankly I think that's kind of what made D-Day so entertaining to play.
Mm-hmm.
But to each their own. I'm excited to see what Corey comes up with next year. And you're saying that's way too long. It was long. It was a lot. Playing the full time. I mean, I would come off the field every 2 hours or so for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, give myself a break, and then go back on. I'm not a big fan of the break in the middle because the break in the middle always ends up being like 45 minutes long, and then everybody's done. Once the body stops moving, you start seizing up. You're getting tired. It's hard to get going again. For a lot of people, I'd love to see just make it 8 hours, have people come off. I think it's a safety thing. I think from a safety standpoint and from a field organizational standpoint, it makes way more sense to stop the game halfway through.
The Savage one is right though. Switching sides.
No, it really is. Switching sides is important because there's always a benefit and a pro and a con or an advantage and a disadvantage.
Yeah, there's no such thing as an even playing field.
No. That's why switching sides it totally makes sense, and that's what we saw when we played. Our team completely stomped them for the morning. Switch sides, their team completely stomped us. I think that kind of showcases that maybe those starting points might not been the best ones, because trying to climb over that hill when the other team only has to sprint in a straight line.
Well, that's the rationale between Allies running up D-Day and Axis running up Hamburger is you both have a hill to climb. And
everyone was still eating. When we got to the top of Hamburger, it felt like there was more than 14 people shooting at us.
Yeah,
because I was with them on that first run up Hamburger, and when I got down, when they finally came on, holy hell, they were not happy with us.
I kind of want to call something out here because it happens every year.
Shoot.
The winning side will always say, well, we only started with so many people and we won because of pure skill. It happens every time. Our team, guys from our team did it last year.
Yeah, we did it last year too.
No, 100%. Like our guys from our team did it last year. It happens every time. So then being like, oh, we only had like 14 people because everyone was still eating. No, there were more than 14 people waiting. It takes more than 14 people to take that field. I guarantee you there was probably 40 or 50.
I do know what he's saying though, because when I got to the bottom of D-Day on that corner, when I was sitting there with Gordo and I was just shooting down the line, we held it for a while. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you're saying, Mike. Because I held it there for a while, and then eventually they all started creeping in, and you could watch them coming across the spawn, like that's the land bridge. I was watching them come across, and I'm like, okay, there's a few of them. And then the shots started coming more and more. Yeah. I'm like, this is getting a little concerning there. And I'm like laying on my back. And the guy who finally popped me from the truck, he shot me and he painted me. And I put one hand up and I stood up and I looked around and I'm looking with the guy with both my hands in the air and I point at him and wave at him like a fool. And then I run like hell because it didn't matter. If the rule I've always said is if you put your arm down, you're dead man walking, shoot him again. And I made sure I kept that hand up because I did drop it like twice and I got peppered on the way through. So
it's
good job for following the
You could have had
rules.
your hand up, waving a flag saying, I'm out. And they'd still pepper the hell out of you.
Oh, yeah, man. Guilty. We all do it. We're all bad for it.
I got double and triple tapped every time my hand was up. Every time.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I
The
definitely
game is still a ton of fun.
Oh, well, listen, a lot of every time I would I sent a couple extra balls, a bonus ball, I'd be like, I'm sorry, yelling at the guy. And the guy's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I took a rope to the face by my own team.
So, at one point there was we had a ton of fun in the forest. Speaking of the guy with the LED mask, he was bumping some great tunes, and we went into the woods because me and I forget his name, the tall guy. God, I forget his name. He's super tall. I forget his name. I'm so bad. A tall ginger, younger guy, like in his early 20s. We went into the woods because Don's like, we need to break through. And we're like, okay, we're trying this way, but this is a lost cause. And we're like, we're going to sweep into the woods, see if maybe we can get around. He's like, okay, go. So we go and we're creeping through and we bring a bunch of people with us and we're like, let's go, let's push up. Think thin thoughts and hide behind the birch trees, kind of thing. And somehow it worked. And we started pushing up and then Buddy shows up with the speaker and we're just grooving. Right? Like there's a bunch of them shooting at us, but they're long balling. You can tell because the balls are bouncing off us. And they're not coming straight on. You can actually see the ball kind of like arc up and like bounce. So we're like, okay, cool. They're out of range.
Catch.
So yeah, we kind of like look at each other like they're totally out of range. We're like, what do we do? It's like, well, I don't know. Good music. Like, just like grooving. We're chirping at them. There was like 7 behind one bunker. I yelled that I wanted to join in on the snuggle party. They started going into the trees, like into the bushes, and I yelled out, and I was just like, they're like Ewoks, they're in the trees, Yeah, it was great. We were chirping the hell out of it. It was fun. They're everywhere. Buddy with the LED mask just like kept pumping the great tunes as he's pushing up. We're like right behind him. We're like, keep up with the music. Let's go.
Beginning of the day, he was with us, and our guys were like trying to be sneaky, and he's just chilling there. And everybody on the other team, and they would come back to like, we could see him, but we couldn't hit him. As soon as they would get in range of him to hit him, our guys were in range too. And then they would go away. And he just laid there and was just about the happiest clam I'd seen.
Yeah, we kept the pressure on him in the woods. Like we were pushing up, they kept falling back, or we'd eliminate them. We just annihilated the hell out of them. At one point, there was 3 of us behind one bunker. And Buddy's one of the medics, and I'm like, I'm out of paint, I'm out of air, like I'm just shooting just out of paint at this point. So I'm just like, just firing blanks at them while I'm running at them, hoping that they keep their heads down while I get to the next bunker. And Buddy's like, can you see him? I'm like, I could see him, I could hit him, I could see him. And he's like, great, take my marker. There's like 40 balls left. So I just stood up, got him. We're good to go. Like, let's push up. And we
throws the marker on the ground and stop.
More or less, yeah. And we kept going and we kept going. And
I did not get out of the woods, Andrew. The only time I got it was at the final battle, and I was not out of those woods long.
we ended up at game ends. We're pushing them hard too. Like they're digging in deep. And we're like, okay, what do we do from here? Game ends. We're walking off, and then I start talking to Gordo and Don. They're like, yeah, they just destroyed us on Boneyard. And it clicked, and I was like, oh no, we pushed them out of the woods and into Boneyard. So where the teams were evenly spread and kind of meeting at the 50 across the woods and Boneyard, we were pushing them out of the woods, and they were respawning and just going to Boneyard. And so we accidentally forced the entire team to push on. Yeah, we kind of flanked our own team. Now, if we had another 15 minutes, we could have pushed all the way around, and we probably would have popped out behind them and did some damage, but game ended, whatever.
The old reach around.
The old reach around. It was a good time though. We had a lot of fun. It was great. I shot
Great
Gordo
firefight.
by mistake.
Oh yeah, that happened.
That was
Oof.
bad.
Big oof.
We came up off the out of Hamburger Hill and they airstrike the other team. The Axis had to pull back, and I was like, "Let's push up, let's move, let's go." What? At least one or two guys, maybe three, yelled, "There's somebody in the hut. They're still in the hut." And I'm thinking, dude's trying to cheat. Dude's going to shoot us in the back. So I lit him up.
I thought the same thing when I heard that.
Right? And I lit him up, and it turns out it was Gordo, our general, who then proceeded to try and remove a wall from the shed that he was in.
He was very upset.
He
was very upset.
Yes.
Rightfully
In the heat of the
so.
moment, he called me many names.
Oh, no. It was rightful. He was not wrong to call him that, but it was still, again, Gordo's usually pretty chill, but.
Oh, yeah. No, it.
Heat of the moment thing. He even said that. He's like, it's what happens.
No hard feelings. There were no hard feelings. I did feel bad. So then we proceeded to get stomped on for 3 hours.
Yep. But we didn't do too badly because we get to the final battle. We get up there. And as always, I'm going to try my horse shit. I'm going to try my thing. And, this is one of those moments where it pays to listen to the briefing. Because had I listened to the briefing, I would have known that you cannot walk. You must sprint while making that forward momentum. I did not know that till I got to their 50 with every intention to go to their 25. And I was going and I wasn't stopping because I didn't care at that point. And I have my smoke grenade burning in one hand and Corey runs over and smacks me and he goes, "You're out." And I went, "Why?" And he goes, "You can't walk." And I'm like, "What?" So I just drop the grenade and walk off because I'm at this point, I'm at the 50. I am painted. I've stopped forward momentum. So I put my hand up, I walk off, and I get what I absolutely deserved and shot from the ankle to the back of the head. But my gator mail stopped all those like nasty neck shots, caught all the paint. The one on the top of my head didn't get shot in the head. I had no lumps up here. It was awesome. And I got over to Corey and I said, "What's going on with that?" And he goes, "You got to run. You got to sprint." And I just went, "Nope." And I turned around. I went back to the back. Kind of hung around.
I think a leisurely jog would be acceptable. You just had to do anything faster than walking.
No, I thought of a leisurely jog, but the way he words it, it's basically you can't be trotting. You've got to be not quite sprinting, but there's a
run. You got to be moving.
The specifically worded as you must be running forward.
Yeah.
In locomotion.
Basically,
and I think the reason
stopped
for
my
that,
happy horse shit.
Yeah, I think the reason for that rule is to prevent somebody with shields from slowly creeping up bit by bit. Right?
Because we had a shield guy.
Yeah, and as long as he could kind of keep crawling forward.
I'm not going to complain about it. It was funny as hell because I walked up and Ty was standing there and I'm painted and I'm laughing because it's Corey. Like whatever. Like them's the rules. What am I going to do? Get mad at him? At what point Brad and I were saying on the way home, in what sport and what time in everybody who's listening and who hears this is lives have we watched in a sport where somebody has a temper tantrum at an official that the official's like, okay. You ever seen the dugout, the coach kicking dust at the umpire and the umpire's like, screw it. You can have it. No, it never goes well. So just don't argue with them. So
did you hear that? Major League Baseball?
Oh my
God.
God.
Is above you.
So we had some good, I was a terrible medic. I was a medic for the morning and got smoked. There was the young lad on C1D. I saw pictures of that kid running the young Gagnon, and he was just booting her across the field. There's just this little purple menace that was just healing people all day.
Our medics did well. There was one medic, I'm not going to call them out, but I did. Now, I this is a great question that I'll leave up for people to discuss, and maybe you can message me or put in the comments. But if you see a medic whose job is to revive players, so they need to be in the mix, they need to be moving. This medic hovered outside of the gunfights, quite a distance away, with the flag over their shoulder, just kind of walking leisurely back and forth, refusing to get anywhere near the firefights. I part of me was like, they're clearly new to paintball, or at least new to woods ball, like big games like this, and they're just trying to be a part of it, a functioning part of the team. They're doing their best. They want to be a part of things.
This is not the place.
But
this is not the time. Or
right,
the
yeah.
place
So
for
like,
this.
do you let them do that, or do you walk up to them, tell them that they're doing a garbage job, maybe do it a little more politely than that, and take the flag from them and be like, I will be the medic now. You don't need to be.
Hey, Fred. You might want to gently suggest they get into the mix, and if they don't,
right.
don't take the flag. Grab the medic and drag the medic to the firefight.
This medic,
that would be my method.
Judging by the mask, the gear, and the body language, this is somebody who might have maybe played it twice, and it looked like loner gear to me.
Oh, okay.
But the body language was very much like, I'm scared.
Yep.
So, yeah, I probably should have just taken the flag from them.
It's a big game. It's like, whose line is it anyways?
2 minutes.
The points don't matter. We're all there to have fun, but they did matter to the Axis because they won by 2 points. So
yes, so
that's they did win, which was
and they
awesome.
did deserve
really
that
happy.
win, I think.
Holy, they absolutely deserved it and earned it. Like,
yeah, no, they won. They won fair and square. I saw how the points were laid out. We actually demolished them in the final battle. It was they just had a lot more points from the missions.
Yep.
Was what it was.
They played the game and won, and that's killer. I'm really happy for them. Like, and I say I'm happy for them because I'm really specifically talking about C1D, because those guys, I've been privy to be in some of their chats, and obviously I don't read anything they post because I don't look at that stuff, but they were planning and plotting for so long that they really they wanted it. So
yeah.
Excellent.
And it's a hard
I was really
one.
happy to congratulate them.
Those big games are hard too, right? Because you're a part of something bigger. So you could be the best coordinated team and squad, but you're on a team of 200 people. You can only do so much. But it was good to see that their team really did come together when it needed to happen.
Yeah, I'll attest to that. I played on the Allied side, and that was probably the biggest obstacle. It wasn't where people were. It was that they were communicating, and they were doing it better. They were doing it better than the Allies were. That's what it came down to.
Yeah,
exactly.
We are
but on that bombshell
out of time. You know what? I think we're gonna revisit this. I think we need another episode.
Stream. We'll figure something out. Keep an eye.
Yeah, something, because we still have more to talk about for D-Day. Like, there's a lot more to talk about.
We do this every year, so yeah, we're gonna do something more. We have to. It's essential.
But that's it, folks. We're out of here. That was a fast hour. Wow.
Was fast.
That was crazy fast. So thanks for hanging out with us, folks. Like and sharing, chatting with us. As always, follow us on social media: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, all that jazz. We are there. Go like it. Go say hi. And that's it. We're out of here. So until next week, cheers.
Toodles.
Later.